Welcome to HGC Korea Crucibles Day number 2. My name is G-Clef, and along with me, as Sensei One.
As always.
As always? I was about to say as always, but it's actually I've
done this Crucible, last Crucible.
You know?
It's always if you only consider the last 2 days.
Yes, that is true.
I'm Rapid. It's good to be back.
Yes.
G-Clef. More Crucible action.
Welcome.
Yesterday's games were actually really exciting, so if you missed them, you should go back and watch them because they were pretty cool. The Open Division team IL5 not quite able to overcome their HGC challengers and Team Feliz, who requalify for HGC Korea for the next split, and now we get a chance to watch kind of that same concept again as the Open Division first place team, Master Theater.
Yes, Master Theater is the official English name they wanted to go for. It's actually Masters Theater. I would say that's the better translation of it. 장인극장 against Ace, who was the 8th place from HGC Korea. So should be a lot more competitive compared to yesterday. If you guys have tuned in yesterday, you guys probably saw what are some weaknesses of the Open Division team from Korea, and I think we will see similar things because they have lots of common strategies in terms of macro, the micro, what they play. I think Ace could have some trouble going against Master Theater today. They seem very strong. They had the most points from Open Division. They were in play for the longest time over here since week 2, I believe, and they won a lot of them too. And so we could have some. And by the way, it is best of 7. Just to let you guys know again, we had a 4-1 last night. So I think it's going to be a lot more competitive, maybe 4-2, 4-3. I think that's totally possible.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a lot closer. We've also got some returning challengers from HGC Korea competing on Masters Theater. I think everybody's going to recognize No Chat when they see him up there. He's been around for a while. Turns out when your mixtape is supreme, you never quite go away.
Oh yes, I'm pretty sure you clicked on No Chat's Wikipedia. Right?
Well, also, I was just, as soon as I found out that there existed a team in the world called Supreme Mixtape, I'm like, I just have to follow them forever.
Yeah. Before they came into HGC 2017, they were Supreme Mixtape back in Open Division. And then they changed to, and then it became Blossom with Wiz, but of course, No Chat got kicked out. But
now he's back.
Now he's back
for
in Master Theater. Well, with a lot of his team member, Ace, I'm probably you guys should know the roster. Gammy, Hero, KCB, Rush, Witcher from Ace. And we'll see the rosters very soon as well for Master Theater. Here's the overview. We told you guys already. We had Open Division playoffs. The first place, which was Master Theater, chose their opponent, who is going to be the 8th place of HGC Korea, who is Team Ace. So this was a chosen one. They want to go against the 8th place team and win, so they could qualify and go up to advance to HGC Korea next phase.
Yeah, and for No Chat, I mean, he's like a Tigger when it comes to qualifying. It's what he does best, getting from Open Division into HGC Korea. We'll see if he can do it again. And for the Ace X Team winners, a team that 4-0'd their way into HGC Korea last split, it was like, it really kind of hurts to see them back down here again. You could see that they were good enough to qualify, but maybe not good enough to stay there, and we'll find out. Here are the rosters that you just mentioned. Rush, Hero, Witcher, Gamey, and KCB there for Ace, and on the other side for Master Theater, No Chat, Kirisaku, Haben, Bentham, and Alex.
Yeah, Alex is a support. He's actually Alex Straza. One pony trick. He used to be, but in competitive, he's only playing Stukov so far. I think that's going to be banned or taken away. Lots of time from Ace. They have some hero pool problems, but No Chat seems to be flexing in, even as a solo laner or the range DPS. Whenever Kirisaku wants to go to a solo lane, Kirisaku is the normal sub-tank for the team. Whenever he has to flex in, he just go with the hero. Having the solo tank, and then Bantam, also the range DPS in that case. So we have that roster, very strong. They were not as dominant against IL. They were actually neck and neck. They barely won at the very end. They had some great
very
team
close.
fight. It was very close. Went all the way to 5 games, best of 5, of course, and it was a 3-2 IL compared to how they did against 7th place. I think you guys can kind of predict what's going to happen against Team Ace tonight.
Well, there you can see on your screen, Jangil-gukjang is Master Theater. So maybe just learn a little bit of Korean here today and keep up with our Open Division team. They did win out in first place in a best of 5, but today they have a best of 7 ahead of them.
Open Division playoff in round of 4. Their their opponent actually had to forfeit the match due to some, I don't know, issue. I think they had some emergency scheduling problem, and a few of the members could not make it, so they went directly to the finals and defeated IL. On the other hand, here's Team Ace, once again back to open division. Well, we heard from the interview from Feliz that they never want to come back.
They never want to come down here.
They never
They're
want
like
to come
the air's bad, the location's bad,
the water flowing
the water
under the building is bad. Like the soil is something wrong. There's rotten soil.
Yeah, rotten
or something.
soil.
Yes,
that's your excuse.
Yeah.
Also, it means you're about to be eliminated from HGC Korea, so you probably just want to stay as far away as possible as an open division team. But sometimes you do have to come back. For Feliz, they did have to come back. For No Chat, he's back again, trying to re-qualify with a new, what do you want to call them, a motley crew, a mod squad of heroes, experts. I would say that Masters Theater have a very good chance of qualifying here.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless they adopt the Team Miracle strategy of donating wins to Team Ace.
Yeah, that's right. We actually had a tank player who was in Masters Theater, Rujea. He used to be in Masters Theater for 3 open divisions and then went to IL. So the new tank player in the team, who is Heaven. Yes, that's right. I'm pretty sure. Heaven, he is actually new to the team. We saw some off teamwork when the rest of the 4 members are actually going for the fountain or just not choosing not to fight anymore. He would be the only one like door tossing in, and basically he just kills himself. We do see that sometimes because of the teamwork. They've only been playing for last 2 months compared to the long time teamwork. I think they need some more coordination. Oftentimes a lot better compared to IL because No Chat has so much experience from HGC Korea. I think he's the one shot calling. He's the one drafting for the team most likely. They do have a lot of flexibility because of his gigantic hero pool as well. So that's a lot of plus for the team. And Team Ace, also, we have been critical about their hero pool problems in HGC Korea. It could be a similar thing against each other.
Right, so some of these teams might share some weaknesses, but I would say the big advantage that Ace has, the big advantage that HGC Korea just offers teams is that you do get a more stable environment to just play a lot of games, and they're competing against the upper echelon of heroes teams here in Korea.
Yeah.
So at least their practice is going to be relatively high quality, even if it's practice on the fly, playing their actual HGC Korea matches. Masters Theater is not going to have that same level of practice.
Yep, it's Ace. Before they're the 8th place, 1 and 13 for the entire phase, and set score 9-41. Pretty low, to be honest. And lots of them, part one number 1, they only had 1-3 losses. Of course, they had 0 and 7. And part 2, they actually won 1 against Miracle.
Well, that's true. It came all the way down to the wire. They got about as about as close to losing all of their games as possible, and then right at the very end, Miracle had kind of a reverse Miracle against them and wound up losing that series 3-2. So
yeah, that happened.
It's close.
I don't think it was also Miracle playing worse and Ace playing better at the same time. I think it was close. It was only a few weeks ago, I believe, 3 weeks ago actually. So it was not too long ago that actually they have been getting coordination together with lots of practices. I think. Compared to that time, it's only been a week, actually, after the playoff, 2 weeks, because HGC Korea just had playoffs last weekend, and we're back at Crucible here. So they should be fresh with all the macro from the higher top Korean teams. Though I expect Ace to win, I am kind of leaning towards Master Theater a little bit here.
Well, the way I look at it, if you plot Ace's wins on a graph, it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 until the last week, and then it goes from 0 to 1. And so all I'm trying to say is...
put 1 up there, yes.
Yeah, that's right. It goes from 0 to 1. So that's like 100%. Like, what's the slope on that line? It's like 100%, 190 degrees. They're just going straight up.
Let's not talk about algebra, okay?
I'm trying to do math on air.
I told you, only addition and subtraction.
All right. I'll stick to it, G-Clef. G-Clef's teaching me how to cast over here, so I'm learning from the master. Anyway, it does appear as if they're in an upward trend right now, and so as long as they can keep that going, it looks good for them. Unfortunately, not a whole lot has looked good for them for a while, so it's still a little bit up in the air. I just want want to see an open division team like Master Theater come out and win their way into HGC. I think that's a very exciting story, and it's what we've gotten a chance to see quite consistently from these Crucible games in HGC Korea. Teams qualifying very often.
Yeah, I believe we are getting ready to set up game number 1. And just to let you guys know again, in the first pick will go to the blue side, and the second pick will get to go to red side. So there will be side swapping sometimes. I got some confused sometimes watching the open division, writing down the draft and all that.
Swap sides.
But just to remind you guys, we will try to remind you guys once again we go in. But Master Theater is actually a team with some false stat because No Chat's in it. He's the one playing it, and Ace does not play much global. Not as much global.
Little bit of Dahaka.
Little bit of Dahaka, but no false stat, nothing else.
Right.
And it could be something else. So I think depending on the battleground and depending how Master Theater want to macro this one out, it's certainly possible because Ace was never really good at macroing at all.
Well, they were really never good at a few things, but macroing is the biggest one. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Oh yeah, certainly true. And Ace, I think it's a big matchup with Dahaka. Kirisaku is supposed to be one of the best Dahaka player in Korea, even in Hero League. We see a second band Dahaka. We used to, before we had player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we used to be able to see the opponent's ID in Hero League. So whenever he was in the opponent's side, we would actually have second band Dahaka because he was so good. That's actually true. Kind of like how Franco, when there was Franco on the opponent's side, Tracer was always banned, even as a first ban long time ago. Of course, there's now Maiev,
Genji,
Medivh, Deckard Cain, Genji, Hanzo. Lots of things to ban. Before those new pretty strong heroes came out, that used to be the bans. So that's how strong he is with the Dahaka. And also Ace, they have been using some Dahaka, but not as much. So that could actually be like a first ban material. I'm just putting that out there just for you guys to know because they've been playing lots and lots of Dahaka. And he's Dahaka, compared to yesterday, I think a lot better in terms of rotation and when he joins the team fight.
Yeah, we actually did see pretty good Dahaka play yesterday from, I guess it was Feliz. I don't think we actually ever got a chance to see IL5 play Dahaka.
No, I don't think so. Even Feliz, they were kind of pointing at fingers. It was all Dahaka's fault. He was late on team fights. That's why we lost the team fight. Towers of Doom game, yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's all coming back to me, G-Clef.
Yes, it was only yesterday, Rapid. Okay?
Well, it's true, but perhaps there were players or viewers that did not watch yesterday either. Bad viewers. Go back and watch those games.
Hey, viewers are awesome. Point fingers at him.
So we should be setting up and getting ready for our first game in this best of 7. Buckle yourselves in. It's going to be a little bit of a long ride here tonight. Our games yesterday actually didn't end 4-0 like maybe I think we were thinking they might. So
yeah.
It's going to probably be a little bit of a longer night, but we should actually see some very good games and some very good players.
Yeah, we got a few good compliments about our shirts and ties.
Oh, that's right.
So, really good. I love Friends.
Our parents dressed us alike. They're very proud of us.
No, they were not.
Oh, really?
My mom said, my mom was asking actually, who tied your tie for you? And I said,
really?
This guy right
Yeah,
here.
that's right.
He knows how to tie a tie.
I may not be great at casting
don't.
heroes, but I can still tie a mean tie.
Hey.
Double Windsor all the way across the sky.
Really nice. I still don't know how to tie a tie. That's one of my 2018 goals. I told you.
Yeah.
It may never come back, and I still have that. I may still have that goal for 2020. Who knows?
What you should do instead of a tie, just get an ascot. Like that's the real easy mode.
Like the bow tie, I liked it for a few other castings also, but I think we're getting ready. I think we got the call. The game is ready. Whenever the Korean caster is ready, we will jump right in. I'm looking at the monitor.
They've got important things to talk about.
I know they're talking about the weather, the sushi that we had right before, the wonderful sushi.
It was actually pretty amazing.
Yes, it was amazing.
That's the real reason
on a
they
Sunday
came down
where
here.
everything closes.
It was spectacular, just like our games are going to be. So let's go ahead and get into game number 1 of our day 2 Crucible series, best of 7 between Ace and Master Theater.
Yeah, Ace on the left side because Ace on blue side because they have the first spin again. Master Theater, not the team as compared to yesterday. IL would love to have first pick Genji. Not the same. They would love to have Maiev instead, though. So Maiev should be on top of Ace's head.
Yeah, it's going to be a Garrosh first ban. We saw this quite a bit yesterday. I think we'll keep seeing it quite a bit. And there's the Maev. You mentioned that's always just going to be, if you're second ban, you're just going to have to take Maev off the field.
Oh, there's
first
that Genji.
Can we just predict these bans for the rest of forever?
Yeah,
There's Hanzo Malfurion.
Seems like we have copy-paste but different team name from yesterday.
If you took the team names away, you'd never be able to figure out which teams these were.
Yes, map is Cursed Hollows. Just so you guys, maybe it's time for you to learn some Korean words. Heroes Korean battleground words. You can kind of guess because there's a space in the middle.
So it's one of those names.
It can't be Towers of Doom.
them.
It can't be Battlefield of Eternity. There has to be 2 spaces in the middle. You can kind of guess. Cursed Hollows, of course, Genji with the utility and the pokes. Shurikens can interrupt the channeling so easily. Same for Hanzo. Small choke points. A lot of points where you can just scatter arrow. Oh, Ace is going to steal that Haka away. I mentioned this already.
Yeah, and we'll get a chance to see if Ace can pull that out adequately. Now, like you said, we might be seeing a little bit of Ballstad here, so always something to keep in mind to match that semi-global, but a Blaze taken off the field here for Ace.
Really targeting Kirisaku's hero pool here, as Blaze was right after Dehaka, when Dehaka was taken away or banned. Blaze was the hero to go for him, but both are taken away and banned. So it will be up to the question, what is he going to do next? Sometimes Zeratul, I believe he tried it once. And even Nochat had to flex into a Sonya. So it was kind of a weird situation where Nochat was a solo lane instead of Kirisaku, and Kirisaku went off to a DPS. That does happen whenever this type of ban phase happened before. Maybe we'll get to see that once again.
Still looking for the second 2 picks for Master Theater. What do you expect to see here? We talked about, is this the rotation where you'd pick Falstad earlier? Do you want to save that a little bit later on? You have to have a plan to deal with the semi-global. I don't think we're going to see anything that meets those criterion other than just those 2 heroes. All right, we're just going to go with a Sonya, so not quite able to join the team fight quite as quickly, but still a fantastic solo laner.
Sonya again, and we do have to go into game and check out who is going to be playing on that Sonya. Sometimes Nochat, sometimes Kirisaku. So on this map, more likely, but losing against the global, the Haka's already there. And Ace is not the team that has been prioritizing their global as much, but against a Master Theater, they think that they can actually out-macro them, because looking at the level of these teams, it is not the top-tier Tempest KSB or L5. Thinking of that, we have the Li Ming, the counter to ETC, and a Rehgar to finish.
Okay, a Rehgar. We got a chance to see Rehgar yesterday. Lots of lightning bolts, but not a whole lot of success in that regard.
Because I was kind of expecting a Stukov, but they might just need some Ancestral for the teammate and Greymane for the finish. This will look very similar for a Master Theater. They often had this type of format with the 5-man Hanzo, Malfurion, ETC, Sonya, Greymane. Lots of Greymane whenever they need a secondary DPS, so just to let you guys know. But we are ready to jump into game number 1 in Cursed Hollow between Master Theater and Ace. Game 1 between Ace and Master Theater. Ace on blue side, Master Theater on red.
And not a Stukov to be seen, G-Clef. big surprise for me after watching some of their Open Division Finals games. It was just all Stukov all the time, switching it up a little bit.
Yeah, I was also expecting lots of Stukov to come out.
I mean, hey, Malfurion, we saw him every single game yesterday, so very, very popular. Will it be the pick that they need? We'll find out as we get into our first game. So what to watch out for here? We're just going to see the big 4v4 in the middle, Sonya down bottom, Greymane up top, and pre-splitting just to go ahead and get that SOCON early. What should we expect here, G-Clef? For Ace, I'm just wanting to see if their macro rotations hold up. It's something that they've been historically weak on, but at least with their semi-global here, you know, you want to at least play a little bit towards that direction.
Already Dehaka getting bullied by Greymane. You would expect Sonya instead on the top lane, but this does happen. See, even if Kurisaku got the solo lane, No Chat is the one with the Greymane going up to that top lane. So a little bit of a swap, it's a weird thing, but this team, with the style, they would like to actually do this instead. And it's a big map, so trusting on No Chat's awareness on the minimap, I think it's a better one because Kurisaku oftentimes got caught from lots of games. So this is, I think, a good adjustment coming into the series.
Needing to adjust. I like that game number one you get a chance to, especially on Cursed Hollow, get a chance to see on one of our larger maps what happens when both teams want to make these macro rotations happen. For Hero, I mean, what... oh, wow, actually going to get the tongue flash. They grab on a No Chat to pull him a little bit too close for comfort. Although I think that's going to be even camps taken, right? Yeah, it should finish up about the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be about okay. I think Ace, the reason why they took Rehgar instead of Stukov because they really lacked someone who could do the camp. They didn't have anyone like Greymane or Sonya, so they had to kind of go with the Rehgar because of their camp timing, leaving pretty slow, Genji very, very slow. So in terms of the camp control, because they want to control that macro with the global, they just had to pick Rehgar to pick that pace up. We'll see about the same timing. Rehgar actually waited for a slower camp capture there.
And what's that going to do? Timing camp captures is still something that kind of eludes me as far as the logic behind all of that.
They want to clear the opponent's camp faster and then go try to push with your own camp because you have that magic plus 20 spell armor to your... You see the small circle around that wizard, right?
Small circles.
It's all about the circles. The mosh pit, everything.
That's a tribute circle right there.
Tribute coming up. Soon Witcher. Let's see if he smells the bait.
I wonder what bait smells like in Heroes of the Storm. Probably a little bit like that. Oh, no, Rush! Had to strike out of there as fast as he could.
He's a Genji. Will be okay. Genji holding, I believe, 80% win rate from yesterday. 5 games played and only 1 loss at the very end.
Yeah, finally overcome there in the final game. He had 100% win rate all the way up until then. Trying to get the channel off, but Genji again with the cancel there. I'm pretty sure No Chat should be able to complete it this time as long as Genji doesn't jump back in. Yeah. There it is.
There's no one like Uther for point-click stun. They do have Malfurion, but not as easy to catch that Genji. They wanted to just... They were giving up anyhow just to buy some more time, so that the Haka could push a little bit more, also trying to bait this one out. There are 2 Genji doing tons of damage to Sonya will just Whirlwind and pretty much survive. I don't think he's going to die.
Yeah, Sonya getting caught out there probably is not the biggest concern for Master Theater. Does push her back and have to take a slower rotation up top lane. And it really does seem like Ace are putting a lot of effort into making that top lane just Dehaka's playground for now.
Yeah, misses another wave. Does catch the experience a little bit. Here comes Genji. Looking to have a kill onto Kurisaku will be okay. Rush already used his Swift Strike to come dash in, but lots of experience lost from the top lane. That's why Ace actually has a small amount of lead right now.
Yeah, about half a level up, and that's just off of that slower rotation top lane delayed for quite a while. I mean, Sonya's going to be able to finally rejoin that top lane with a little bit of support, and I like that the call from Master Theater is, hey, I might need a little bit of extra help up here. Let's try to take this Dehaka out, and so No Chat and Haben coming up for the assist.
No Hero spotted. He's going to go for a bait. They are actually
I love how safely he's playing. Oh my god. Takes a lot of wisdom to be able to play that far back. Oh, gonna get knocked back there. Hero should be pretty safe for now, playing a 1v3 and doing it pretty well.
They can't really engage too far ahead because the tribute was on the bottom left side. The next one is going to be right top, as we just see on the screen now. Because they were going to lose it anyhow, they wanted to make some gank attempt and maybe get a kill onto Deakas. That was the problem as a global. Never really happened. Keeping yourself safe when you don't see anyone on the map. Some great plays as Dehaka coming out from Hero today.
Both teams bossing at the same time, and that's going to push the Grave Golem a little bit further. Actually, no, it's a little bit further for Master Theater. So that's going to hit the wall first. Meanwhile, bottom, there's actually only Li Ming here with the golems, so that should be pretty easy to take out 3-on-1. And actually, Witcher, okay, yeah, just going to teleport out.
Yep, not going to be too much of a problem. And there's a Hanzo, so also going to be taken away pretty easily. It's after 7. And with the simple geometry, so not much of a problem. No Tetris trying not to lose any experience in the middle. But this is somewhat of a problem as 15 seconds. Ace already positioning themselves around the tributors. Actually going for an invade onto the camp.
Oh wow, going for the and one. There's always a risk that they could get a little bit flanked here if ETC had come up behind Witcher. But it's not going to be the call. The tribute comes up, and that is a successful steal there. KCB finishing off the camp and just going to go ahead and rotate over. Won't be able to quite pick up the tribute that easily, but I'm just curious how Master Theater plans on contesting. Oh no, Bentham just gets taken down, immediately locked up, and that is an early pick. Great kill there for Genji to take him out.
Great barrel charge by KCB there, as that's his favorite hero to go as a tank. Right before Master Theater's hit 10, they were waiting for that 10 level mark. Maybe not because Noche was down in the bot lane anyhow, but still, they had to delay as much as possible so that they hit level 10 for the heroic. But even before that, great barrel charge to target onto Hanzo.
Yeah, and that's going to put Ace on curse point for the next one, so a little bit of extra thoughts in Master Theater's mind. They do want to deal with that. Of course, also taking that extra camp went pretty well for Ace there, and you're starting to see just little advantages, little by little. They are starting to pull ahead here. I will say that out of everything, it has been the macro that's impressed me the most so far for Ace. Master Theater also not seeming too willing to pick fights just yet.
I think they're looking to have some long game here, as they do have lots of damaging potential. Oh, Ace does. They do have the Genji. By the way, this is the patch before the Genji changes again. 31.3 before Dark Arcane. So it will be the same Dragon Blade. With the resets to the Dragon Blade starting from level 10.
Yep.
So this one will be curse point. Ace trying to gather. Dehaka, of course, goes top, but Master Theater, they can't let this one go. It's on their side, positioning themselves. Sonya comes a little bit late. Let's see how much poke they can actually do before that phase.
Yeah, Dehaka still soaking top. Capable of rotating as soon as he needs to. See when they finally do call him down. There's also a camp pushing top lane as well, so even when Dehaka does come down, that's going to be a lane pushing for Ace. See when he does come down, and indeed he will join the fight right now. Hero right in the middle of it, and KCB up in front as well. Lots of I guess pressure against Master Theaters. They get pushed back. Oh, I was a little bit worried there for Hero. Heal up off his trade, gets the lash on in, and Haven pulled forward. Kirisaku getting up close and personal. That's going to be the first kill coming through as Ace loses a new Barak.
Great Ancestral.
Oh my god, Kirisaku! Sick as Poison Spear to take him out.
Yep, Ancestral went to Hero, Dehaka instead, so Nubara could not be healed enough and was the first one to go down. Was poked even before.
Yeah.
I believe used the fountain before the tribute went down also. So great pokes, positioning yourself around the tribute before. So you have the position, you can do a lot more damage. So making sure your opponent uses the fountain before, it could make this kind of a difference. If they had Stukov, I think a little different in terms of macro, but a little bit better in terms of healing amount around the tribute, but they do have Rhaegar, only Ancestraling. You can only Ancestral one target, so Dehaka survived, but Anubara could not.
That camp that was left up top. Oh, actually, this could be another chance for curse points for Ace. Looks like this is not going to go quite as well for them. Rush getting poked down early, although look at the combo. A Nubarak bro charging in, but it's actually not that effective.
Onto Li Ming. Dragon Blade continue. Kirisaku alone here will get knocked off again. That's 2 kills already. They still have to manage to walk out. No chat. Maybe the one caught right after. Great face melt to this disengage. It will be called curse point. Genji will get the tribute though.
Yeah, and there it is. Ace will go ahead and get the first curse of the game. KCB, Hero, everybody doesn't care about turrets or minions or anything anymore. She's going to go charge through that top lane and take down the first keep.
It's only 10 minutes at... What? KCB Boro charges out, but there's a Hanzo arrow stunning him right after. He was coming in from getting me, but not enough. Ancestral a little bit too late. They have wasted their entire curse.
Well, also, what is KCB doing that far back? I mean, I get that, you know, towers don't deal damage anymore, but heroes still do. So he got a chance to figure that out firsthand, and yeah, a little bit late on the Ancestral, which even still probably wouldn't have saved him. Would have been close.
We do see lots of team fights and not as much of a turnaround during curse, but when these kind of happens, when these things kind of happen, Ace as a team, we just say, oh man, we just wasted that curse. And Master Theater will be on curse point right after, and they do already have the boss. We traded the boss, but we waited a lot of what we sacrificed for basically the entire 11 minutes of taking game. Losing the team fight even before was not really a waste. It all just went to waste there.
Yeah, and look at what that does to the experience difference. It's actually almost exactly tied right now, 15-15, and that sets both teams up in exactly the same spot when it comes to hitting 16 first. It's a big power spike, whoever does get that, and with it being so close right now, that gives a big chance for Master Theater to really make a big move here. Now, they might actually lose level 16 talent here against having their wall taken down. It's a lot of experience to come over, but will it be enough? It looks like yes, they will just barely hit 16 ahead of schedule.
Not too much of a experience lead for Ace. They still need to be careful. One single curse could catch the experience lead and more. So they want to make sure they have some pressure with Haka starting already onto the Golem camp.
Yeah, and Greymane should be able to pick them 16 up off that bottom wave. So that should even things up, and there it comes. So on both teams on the same page, and looks like the next tribute is South Side, so maybe Master Theater in a slightly better position for it.
Trying to go ahead here as they know that's
KCB
the campaign. Curse bullet going into a Nubarak. No, not even a chance on that. Ancestral healing.
That's what happens when you reach into your desk, grab your bottle of water, and take a drink. No. Bad timing there. I don't know. He keeps getting caught out in kind of questionable positions.
I think he was chatting. Honestly, it was not even moving at the moment.
G-Clef.
Oh, they do have voice chat.
There's no all chat.
They have no chat. Well, that's why they won. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
that was some scary focusing. Curse Bullet just chucking down that HP so far. Even Nubarak can't really take that. All that mosh pit locked onto Genji. There's another kill onto Genji. Genji just doing Genji things, you know?
Master Theater is showing us what we didn't see at all yesterday, and that is the ability to change CC at Genji so he doesn't have the opportunity to reset all over your team. And wow, a couple of big picks there for Master Theater give them a crushing advantage. They're going to be able to get their curse, push down the bottom lane, and just really start to steamroll.
Hey, one-man mosh pit, but if it's on a Genji, you will feel satisfied once you get the kill.
Absolutely.
So worth. Longest cooldown onto that hero.
Every time the Genji dies to chain CC, an angel gets its wings, G-Clef.
Yep, Genji or Hanzo Genjo. Those brothers, man, always coming up in the nexus. But this curse is powerful. Master starts flaming in there, going in straight to the keep. Still 35 seconds. Nubarak waiting for his angle to burrow charge from the side. KCB goes in. Only getting no chat for some, but he gets burrow charge. He gets massive ancestral connects. Sonya in the cocoon will get out right now.
Yeah, very good ancestral. KCB was about to repeat performance there for the third time, but it looks like Ace just can't contest this. They're going to lose their first keep.
They were trying to contest because Mosh Pit was on cooldown. It is still on cooldown, I believe, about to come up very soon. but just Cocoon wasted and Ancestral was out. So about very good trade for Master Sun. They didn't lose anyone. They were not even close to losing anyone. So they got what they wanted. They got the keep. They're escaping, and they have the lead now with the curse.
Yeah, and they forced a fight so that Dahaka couldn't keep pushing top and try to, even out the objective trade. So it's beautiful timing, everything just seeming to go Master Theater's way. Wow, a total turnaround from the way we saw the early part of the game working out. Ace had everything kind of going their way. They had like a level and a half advantage at one point, and then they get their curse and throw it all away. And ever since then, it's been all Master Theater all the time.
Yep, I like that both teams are being super cautious of the map awareness right now. They don't really see too much of the members. And there's nothing else to really take at the time. So focusing everyone to make sure there's no invasion before they hit 20. Like the move from Master Theater.
Yeah, 20 coming up here. Not too long. Dahaka kind of relegated down to the bottom half of the map now that top is pushed so far in. But oh man, Rush. Ooh.
down to half with just a W and a Q. Pretty strong. Hanzo, he's the older brother, so he has to be stronger in a way,
Definitely not true.
Definitely true when you're young.
My younger brother is about 240 pounds, like 90% muscle. It's insane. So younger brothers can definitely...
Is he in the Olympics or something?
No, he just thinks, never mind. But yeah, everybody has fun doing different things, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yes. And with that push, they will just open up the wall. Of course, next tribute. It seems like Master Theater are not really getting greedy at all. Whenever the tribute is on Ace's side, they will just give it up unless they're on a curse point. So making right moves. They do have no chat. I believe their shot calling is a lot better compared to IL yesterday.
Right. That was the main struggle for IL, the Open Division team that we saw yesterday in the Crucible. Their shot calling really lacking, especially when it came to very impactful late-game team fights. Lots of pings onto that bush. Not the party they were looking for, but a big rotation down to the middle of the map, and now, of course, down to contest this tribute. Looks like they will be there right on time and narrowly just seconds away from that level 20.
That's the only reason. They are trying to use this gap, small gap of level, even a ping onto tribute, to grab that tribute. They have 20. Flat force on Hanzo, the best thing ever.
Ace, man, they really need to power up to 20 before they come down here for this tribute, but I think instead they're just going to give it away, yet not contesting, being forced to pull back to their own base to defend that push.
See how slow other open division teams will be a lot slower in terms of macro, but in terms of shot calling, where they want to go next, they already have plans of their next move. Master Theater just flowing like water here, as Genji's onto the other side actually.
Yeah, swift as a coursing river, I believe, is what they're doing, G-Clef.
Well, I think Genji really needs to step up. Has died multiple times, not really doing anything in the team fight, but after they hit 20, it'll be a different story with never-ending Dragon Blade after hitting so many heroes. Let's look at the rotation though. Dahaka has to be at the bottom lane because Ace does not have a keep anymore, so it has to release that pressure from the catapult all the time. So Master Theater, they can actually push in to the other side if they want to. Not really choosing at the moment. They are looking for that tribute and maybe the curse point, as it is the next one is on their side.
Yeah, it is very, very good for Master Tribute. Man, I'm having some struggles today, G-Clef. Master Theater, who have looked good. Their performance on stage has lived up to their name.
What if they pick Medivh and you have to talk about Master's Touch, about Master Theater?
Master's Master Touch?
Yes.
That was the name of the carpet cleaning business I worked for when I was in high school, G-Clef.
Good to know. Thank you. What?
It's little tidbits.
A carpet cleaning?
What job I'm going to get as a 16-year-old, man? Cut me a break.
Pizza, 7-Eleven. Anything's possible. Chipotle?
Chipotle didn't exist when I was 16.
Oh, I know you're only 45, so...
Yeah.
Great range pokes coming out from Witcher. Dahaka is far away, but Ace, they have a great amount of poke. Bentham trying to look for some scatter arrow damage, but not really going to land too much. Focusing onto KC once again. Great impale to survive himself. Oh, even at the borrow charge, there's a cocoon onto Greymane, making a 4v5. Hanzo's arrow lands, but not too much done onto Dahaka.
No chat out immediately. Now just Haka, the one to be taken low. A nice Ancestral save one of their takes. So they got to keep everybody healthy and alive here. Keep in mind that Alex is in the back trying to take that tribute, but instead is going to have to rejoin the fight. Crazy, insane.
No, just survives this 3-man mosh pit. Last time, all the DPS Genji is protected. Will barely survive, but without the Li Ming.
Theater.
Master Theater.
Master Theater, yes. That's right. There's only one.
I know we're
master,
excited,
apparently.
but still.
We got to take the S off their name.
That's going to be... The bottom push is gigantic with the golem, with the catapult. Already they're switching out. KCB better be careful. Still, Genji goes in, maybe trying to assassinate Hanzo, his brother. Not going to happen right now. With 5 men from Master Touch, they're going straight to the core. Can they do it? Let's go. Spear landing on the core already. Kirisaku's on it.
Yeah, Kirisaku has one mission and one mission only, and that is straight to the core. He is going to be able to start the damage off. The rest of his team coming out. Here comes the never-ending Dragon Blade, but is it going to be enough? They're slicing through Bentham.
No Chet is doing free damage onto the core. They have Greymane. Hanzo goes down, but Greymane is the basic problem. Even with Sonya, the core is getting focused only by the 2. Even ETC joins the damage, and that's going to be game number 1, going to Master Theater.
Oh my god, and what a way to end it too. That last team fight, so epic. Haben really doing work there. The 3-man mosh, the wombo combo on top of it. Feels good. And of course, they feel pretty good there in the booth. Master Theater off to a good start.
Lots of swift raid moments, as I was expecting a lot of action, but with that Greymane and Sonya on the core, you gotta be stopping those two. The others don't really matter. Hanzo, ETC, Malfurion, they can't really do too much damage to the core. It's all about the melee damage. Greymane, no chat was on the core. Hey guys, look at me.
The rest of his team is fighting. He's like, hey guys, I'm killing the core over here. You wanna? They didn't stop him in time.
I know. And they have, of course, Genji, easier to kill Hanzo on the back line. Did get the kill. Cocooning Sonya seemed like the right move. They can't have 2 locked in, but not that mosh pit. That was a beautiful one, locking out Li Ming, and I believe also Rehgar and the Genji. Genji, of course, protected, by the way, coming in. Always handy for an escape, even when you get caught by some CC. Very strong as an escape, but still.
Genji got caught by a lot of CC in that game, G-Club.
Lots and lots. I think the only kill he took was that Hanzo at the very end.
Yeah. Not a good time to be a Genji.
Genji win rate, actually, I've said this before, only low 40% back in HGC Korea. And we did see reasons why against lots of crowd control. Genji's power seems to go down a lot more, just like this. It was a lot tough, and when you are rooted and mosh pitted in, you're just dancing. You're very low in HP. You would go down instantly with just 1 spear.
Yep. Feels Genji, man.
Yeah, feels Genji. And also, surprising pick, not too much of a surprise, I guess. They had Sonya, so Curse Bullet plus Poison Spear. That's basically everyone gone except for Anubarak. Anubarak was only maybe 25% of HP right after those 2, and then Focus Fire.
Right.
Blown up. No time to really ancestral your teammate. That's pretty hard.
I mean, if you look at the first time KCB got caught out, there wasn't even time for the ancestral animation to complete. And then after that, in consecutive team fights, it was always, we have to ancestral KCB as fast as possible, as quickly as possible. And they were able to get it off, but at that point, it's like you're using so many resources just to keep your tank alive, who can't tank through all the damage
Sometimes
anyway.
we did see the green light coming down, and then Anubarak blew up.
No.
So that's the thing. That's something else that they will have to think about. Maybe KCB, of course, his favorite is Anubarak. The only one who would play, who would love to play Anubarak without Garrosh. He would not play Garrosh whenever that's open. Not even Johanna. There has been some switches actually. He used to be the Gaming used to be the tank. He was known for his ETC back in 2016, 2017, and even in Power League a long time ago. But he switched to support. And then KCB, who was a support, is now the tank. So that's why they're having that weird hero pool problem a little bit. That's why he's a little bit of overlap, and that's why he's on Anubarak instead of Garrosh, which was also banned from that team. It's not because they were worried that the other team was going to take it. It's because that they can't play Garrosh. I believe that's the only one.
You kind of have to ban
it. So they have lots of troubles during the drafting phase. I think Master Theater already knows that. They should be on top, and they were the winners of Game 1. I'm expecting them to snowball this one out very quickly. Ace, they had some great macro control at the beginning with Haka, as you pointed out very well.
Well, it just, you know, how how far have they fallen, right? They had all that macro control. They were like a level and a half up. They get the curse and everything up until that point is just all ace all the time. And then KCB just goes deep into enemy territory. There's no saving Private KCB that time. He died. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's not a movie. It is not a movie, and we are playing competitive game. As you make a mistake, of course you feel bad. But Nubarok, is that the right choice? I think we need to see some other tanks happening, because oftentimes you will see that Greymane, not really banned, never really banned, except for the times Greymane just came out. You can't really ban Greymane. He's not too strong, too weak, but he's good at wave clear. He's good at camp. He's good at focus fire.
Very versatile, yeah.
Very at everything. That's why we saw Greymane. But small changes to talent and nerfs came into Greymane. We didn't. That's why we don't see as much Greymane and Cassia anymore. But still, a very good put. Once you have the theme, once you have that curse bullet doing % damage onto the tank, that's a good way to burst down and take a win just like this. Focusing onto KCB.
Sky Temple, our next